He is top, Rangers are top, Celtic and Hearts have both won 40 points, and that is...
The infamous Sky pundits have gave their opinion on the matter of the Cinch Premiership title race, as it's been labelled that Rangers are in a good place and know it can change quickly, while Celtic have messed up and messed up badly. It's not done and dusted by a long stretch. So yeah, there will be a few clips throughout this video of the post-match debrief, so to speak, for the pundits. But of course it's not over. The league is very much alive. Like, it's been alive for months. I think, realistically, once you've realised that Celtic have just began to slip, and slip good, damn it. But if you look at it, right, what evidence would honestly support that that Celtic are going to do miraculous? I thought at the start of this season, Celtic are playing shite, Rangers need to capitalise on it, right? Then Rangers completely went off the boil. Celtic just kept getting results. Even if they weren't properly pumping teams, they were still getting the results. But you know, Celtic have been really average all season, as Kris Sutton has pointed out numerous times before. So for me, why would Celtic all of a sudden change? Like, you could argue, right, well, they're actually behind in the league, so they need to up it now. But, you know, they've constantly blew points and let Rangers catch them and now overtake them. So why haven't they turned it around in the past? Well, I think key factors in this title race could potentially be injuries. I think when Celtic get Hatate and Carter Vickers back, that will be a difference for them. But saying that, it's not like those two have been great this season. You know, you'd be lying if you're a Celtic fan and you would say that those two, when playing, have been fantastic. Because if we're being honest, if you're talking about like who's been Celtic's best centre-back, I'd still put it as Liam Scales this season. Doesn't change the fact that I think Carter Vickers is the best defender in the league, but I don't think it's been anywhere near his best season, constantly injured and all that shit. So, yeah. But anyway, Hatate as well, not living up to his hype either.
The next game, hopefully get some key players back. Carter Vickers.
So as you can clearly hear, Kris Sutton agrees with Fog Football. Kris Sutton is saying that they need to get key players back, such as Carter Vickers, because obviously, right, I can say, as much as I can say I think Scales has been the best defender at Celtic, doesn't change the fact that Carter Vickers is still, the best defender overall, not just this season. You put Carter Vickers in beside Scales. It's a lot stronger than Scales and Stephen Welsh, that's for sure. You look at Burnaby, who I think is being used a bit of a scapegoat. Right, the guy's not very good, right? And did he cost him the goal against Kelly? Absolutely. But what about the rest of the players? What about the rest of the players that should be, putting their chances to bed and also closing down players and not leaving space? I mean, you actually look at the Kelly goal, right? What I hate being on Burnaby. What about the guy that whips the ball in? Can't remember who it was, but look at the amount of acres of space he was in. And add it on time when you're hanging on to a 1-0 lead. That shouldn't be happening for Celtic, in my personal opinion. So I think there's bigger issues at Celtic than Burnaby. Ralston, I mean, it was over in his position. Where was Anthony Ralston? Nowhere bloody near it.
Celtic have messed up and messed up badly.
And again, I'm in total agreement with Kris Sutton. Like, I mean, Clement has done an outstanding job with Rangers, right? He has. Only dropping points in the league in 2 games, albeit, yes, Old Firm, pretty crucial game. And a game against Aberdeen, another massive game as well in the Rangers season. Well, more for Aberdeen, but you get my point. But as much as Clement's done great, it's Rodgers and Celtic have opened the door. They have. Absolutely have. And that's not even me bashing Clement. I mean, the turnaround has been fucking insane. But you look at like last season, like Clement's actually got less points than what Michael Beale had after these amount of games. And that's not me suggesting that Michael Beale's better than Clement, but it just shows you, like, Beale did that and couldn't close the gap in Celtic because Celtic matched it, because guess what? Ange is just better than Rodgers. And I think a lot of this has to come down on Brendan Rodgers, his front door, his front yard, so to speak. His garden is Brendan Rodgers. I mean, we've put up a poll on the channel between who's at fault, between the fans, the board, and the manager. For me, it's the manager, because he sets up the team, right? And yeah, a lot of players aren't performing like they were last season. But who's that down to? It can't be every player. It's not just certain players. I mean, it's literally every player. I mean, apart from O'Reilly, but one player in a squad of like 20 odds doesn't really make a difference. At the end of the day, Brendan Rodgers has come into Celtic and made virtually every single player worse than what they were. And I don't think he's an elite manager. I never really think he was an elite manager. I thought he was always a good manager. right? And could it just be a simple case of the last time he was here in Scotland, Brendan Rodgers, Rangers were absolute shite, and the overall quality of the league just was nowhere near as good as what it is right now? I would probably say that's about right. But let's hear what Kris Sutton's got to say just to wrap this up.
Coach, he's going to have to do that again. He doesn't quite know what his best starting 11 is.
And to wrap this title fight summary up, I mean, Kris Sutton can say Brendan Rodgers is yet to find his best starting 11, but isn't the key of being a proper manager is to work with the squad that you've got? I mean, Rodgers has assembled this squad. If you like all the signings that were brought in the summer, he signed them, right? And and the rest of them are treble winning squad. So how can he not figure out what his best starting 11 is? I mean, you look at Clement, right? I think Clement knows what his best starting 11 is, but Clement's a proper man manager. I've praised him for the past couple of months. I mean, look at this. Look at since the January transfer window, man. Rangers will not. Honestly, I don't think when was the last time Rangers started with the same starting 11 back to back? Because he switches it up, he gives players rest, etc., etc. Celtic haven't done that, and I think the best managers can start anyone in their teams and grind out results. I mean, it doesn't matter who Celtic's squad, right? They could start the 11 worst players. They still should be getting results at home. That's just the reality of it, but they're not. And I think Brendan Rodgers just ain't as good as what everyone thinks he is, man. You know, yeah. Did he do good with Swansea those years ago? Yes. Has he done good with Leicester recently? Yes. Did he do good with Liverpool to a degree? Yes. And then Gerrard slipped. So, yeah, but Gerrard didn't slip up with title 55, that's for sure. But anyway, guys, that is it for Kris Sutton and Chris Boyd's thoughts on the title race. For me, I think I don't think it's in Rangers' court. Rangers have got the ball. It would obviously the 8-point gap ain't there, but I think it would take something pretty big for Rangers to slip up now.